Have you thought about getting rid of germs in your car lately? Well, Jackson Luxury Detailing Services is currently offering a COVID-19 interior cleaning, which is a 200-degree steam to help protect you and your family from any possible diseases. Plus, they will provide you with an amazing full detailing experience. They are currently servicing Macon County, Gwinnett County, and Morgan County in Georgia. And guess what? They will come to you. So visit at Jackson Luxury Detailing on Instagram for detailing packages and be sure to mention Love Life After Podcast or use code LLAP for a discount.
Baby, you're my coat. She got me feeling like a dope fiend. I'm addicted to a black queen, baby, you're my coat. She got me feeling like a dope fiend.
Welcome back to Love Life After. I'm Christelle.
I'm Brittany, and today we have a special guest, and we're going to allow her to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kristen. I'm currently a graduate student at George Washington University. I'm getting my master's in clinical microbiology.
That's what's up. So how has that been? How has school been in the midst of this pandemic?
So very stressful. I actually ended up quitting my job like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
As a full-time microbiologist for a pharmaceutical company, just to like pursue my dreams of actually finishing graduate school. It just wasn't healthy for like my mental, and then also I could tell like my relationship was changing with my new husband. So like going back and forth with that, and me struggling with being like happy at work and then also not bringing any of that junk home, or you know. So, yeah.
No, I understand. And y'all know this month is mental health awareness month. So good for you for doing that, because women, especially women of color, we take on a lot. We wear so many hats. We think we got to do it all. We think we got to be strong all the time. And real talk says you ain't got to do all of that. Like, not when you have support.
Yeah.
Like, it's different if you don't have support and like you out here like, thugging it on your own. But if you have support, a good support system, yeah, you shouldn't be doing all of that if it's not necessary, because it's not healthy for your mental.
That's true. But I also feel like just being like a black woman brought up by a strong black woman, very strong black woman, that it is possible to do everything. And so kind of like looking back on like who like my grandmother was, who my mom was, it's just like, why can I not be able to take care of everything? So I did battle, with a little bit of depression when I first figured out that I wanted to quit my job, just because I felt like I was a failure and not being able to, do both. I will say having a very supportive husband helped me out a lot. But definitely like going to therapy, talking about, what my different struggles were and why I did feel like I was a failure has really helped me the last couple weeks.
Girl, let me tell you, I feel you coming from about like, being a failure and stuff like that, because I'm a parent. I'm a wife, like I gotta work and all that type of stuff too. I be feeling the same way, like not as far as like, I do want to quit my job eventually. I do. Because my husband just started driving trucks and I told him give him like 2 years to get on his feet, and then I'm not working no more, because it's a lot to like go to work, take care of kids, cook, clean, make sure the bills is paid, make sure the house is in order. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So some days, like, I started my YouTube channel. I'm like, dang, I'm not consistent with this channel. Like, I don't be dropping content. Like, it be a lot. I'm like, damn, I feel like a failure. Like, I feel so unaccomplished. Like, damn, why can't I just do this? Why can't I go to work, come home, record a video, edit it, and drop it? Like, why can't I do that? Like, so I understand, but to be honest, I stopped doing that and stopped caring so much, because it's like, like, if it get done, it get done. The marathon continues. I don't got time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time. And I feel like us as black women, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We really do.
Yeah.
We really put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And like lately, I just been like, you know what? it is what it is. If it get done, it get done. If it don't, it don't. Like, I mean, I want my YouTube channel to be successful. Of course, I feel like anything that I'm a part of is going to be successful regardless. But it's just like, I feel like I be needing an extra push sometime, a little extra support and stuff like that. Sometimes it's hard for me to ask for that.
Yeah. But why are you not comfortable with giving yourself that grace? Like, that's one of the questions that I brought up to like my therapist, and she kind of turned the question back around on me, and she's like, why do you not give yourself grace? And I'm like, well, why can't I accomplish it all? It's just like, it's only 24 hours in a day.
Yep.
So being able to actually plan out your day, what do you want to accomplish? Like, maybe give yourself like 2 top things that you need to accomplish for that day in your planner, and then let the other stuff it'll go the next day, the next week.
Yeah. Speaking of planner, Dion I literally just purchased one from her.
Yeah, I need to
She
buy
sent
one.
me she's a success, like a what was it, a planner of how to
Accomplish
your goals, and make sure that you're holding yourself accountable for your goals. So that's something I'm kind of excited to get it and see what she got.
Yeah, I am too. I need to order. I need to order mine too. But to be honest, I haven't been writing in a planner lately. Like, because I feel like I'm so freaking goal orientated. It's ridiculous. Like, I'll literally write down everything, like when it comes to my bills or certain things I gotta do around the house. Like, but I stopped doing it because I'm like, I'm putting too much pressure on myself. Like, so I started writing in my planner or whatever. But now I have a goal board, so I just look at my goal board. I'm like, all right, I'll look at it, and it'll just give me like some inspiration and stuff like that. But I stopped writing in my planner lately because I'm like, because if I write in my planner, it's just gonna overwhelm me because it's like extra shit that I gotta do.
But I think for me, like, being able to mark through something, saying like, hey, I accomplished it that day, it makes me feel good that I, wrote it down.
Right, and
you scratch it off.
Yeah. And I mean, also being able to write something down. Let's say you're not able to get to it on that day, but just being able, like, okay, I need to move this to another day to get this done.
Right.
So just like writing it all out helps me get it out of my mind, so I don't have to stress about it.
Nah, I feel it.
Yeah.
We just gotta, like you said, we gotta give ourselves some grace.
Yeah. But I just feel like growing up with my mom, just like watching her like be strong and do everything, because like she got her PhD. I was still in high school. My 2 brothers were in college, and like we lived in Charlotte at that time, and she was traveling to Charleston, South Carolina to go and get her PhD. So sitting in class, like there would be days that she would be down there 2 or 3 days, coming back home to Charlotte, going to work. So to me, it's just like, why would I sit here and complain about anything
when she's done it? But you're not her.
Yeah, you're not.
You're not her, and that's what you have to understand too. Sometimes we can't put all.
Right.
I literally about 2 weeks ago, I just say, you know what, I'm done. Like, I'm done trying to like make sure everyone's okay. I'm done trying to like be always the person who say, just like initiate or checking on people. I said I was done because I felt like I was going through some things, and like I didn't have no kind of support from. How like sometimes you just like feel like, man, like I'm always there for people. Yeah. But then no one is there for me. So I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to try to like put everybody else's problem on me. Yeah. And that's something that you can't do. And just because she's done it does not mean that you could do it too. Yeah. You know, like you have to do what works for you, what works for you and your household, not what works for everybody else.
Yeah, that's just like my sister when she was giving birth to my niece. She was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Mommy telling me not to get an epidural. I was like, Brianna, if you don't get that damn epidural and stop calling me, bugging me, I was like, you are not mommy, sis. Like, every pregnancy is different. Everybody go through different things. Like, I mean, I didn't get an epidural because it was too late. But if I had the chance and opportunity, I would have. Yeah. But it was just too late for me. But I told her, like, yo, she was like, yeah, but mommy's making me feel bad because I guess my mom, like, nah, don't do it. I ain't do it. Like, but it's just like, yo, like, every situation is different. Live your life. Live your life. Like, you can't, like, always walk in the purpose and the path of your parents. Like, you're not your parents. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just be like, yo, it is what it is. I just be
But I think for me, I try to, like, kind of compartmentalize at what point is it where I'm trying to be like you, or I want you to be proud of me. Right. So to me, it's just like, for my mom, I just really want her to be like, oh, Kristen, I'm proud of you. Yeah. And I like never really experienced that. I can't think I've experienced that maybe like once. Wow. So I mean, look, I'm about to cry.
No, please don't.
But
I know it's COVID, but I'm about to give you some.
but I think like for me, just like I want her to say like I'm proud of you, or like I see what you're doing, like you can do it. Thank you. Like you can do it, and like I see what you're doing, like you're able to progress, like you're able to, you know, fulfill your destiny. Is not something that I want you to do.
Right.
And so I feel like me being, and I just had a birthday, 34, I'm like, why is it that I can't seem to figure out what it is like I want my destiny to be? You know, why did I seem like I just wasn't that passionate at work? So me actually making that decision to go to school, to quit my job like 3 weeks ago, that's the first time I actually made a decision for myself.
Exactly. And you should be very proud of yourself.
I am, but also at the same time, it's just like, oh my God, it took me 34 years to get to the point where I'm just like, okay, you're actually doing this for yourself.
Right. Just like earlier this year.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you too. Like, that's good. I'm glad you did that. Just like earlier this year, I took a mental health leave from work. Like, that was the first time I ever had time off. The last time I had time off was when I gave birth to my children.
Yeah.
They were 12.
Yeah.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, that's when I was like, all right, I'm starting to heal. Because now I'm living my life for me. And it don't matter about what nobody else think, what nobody else say. I'm living in and walking in my purpose because I'm doing this for me. It make me feel good. Like, that's when I know I really honestly started healing. Like, for example, talking to my father on the phone from jail, I would have never thought I would be talking to him right now. Like, that's when I know I started healing. When I could sit here and look at my parents, like, okay, my parents, yeah, they did the best that they could. They weren't the most terrible parents, but they were young, they were unexperienced, and they didn't know no better. Like, I can't judge them for things they didn't know. You understand what I'm saying? So for me to honestly pick up the phone and talk to my father, and I ain't seen this guy since I was 15.
Yeah.
That's big. That's how I knew I was healing. When I started, like, you know, realizing stuff for what it was and stopped taking things personally and stop basically basically people saying things and me taking it personal or like what people think of me, that's how I was like, all right, I'm healing because that shit don't bother me no more. I'm doing what it is that I want to do. Like I said, I'm giving my husband 2 years. He need to get his shit together because I'm going to quit my job too because it's a lot being a mom, a wife, and having to be home with kids, cooking and cleaning and all that. I don't mind doing that because I'm a housekeeper. I don't mind doing that. But it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's very overwhelming. And like you said, like, you know what I'm saying? Us as black women, like, we try to do it all. Like, you know what I'm saying? You seen your mom get her PhD. You like, damn, like, I want to be like my mom. I'm going to do what she did.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what? Sometimes it's just not our destiny, and that's something that like we kind of struggle with. But it's something that like we got to walk on our own purpose. It's not our path.
Yeah, right.
And now it's time to create your own. So that's really big of you to quit your job and focus on school. That's really big because a lot of women wouldn't do that. A lot of women don't even have time to even go to school.
Right.
Because they have children or like they have other obligations or they working to take care of their family.
They can't do it.
Or they think they can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say it's easier just because I do have a very supportive husband. We don't have children right now, which I think is a blessing because I don't know if I would be able to balance, you know, being able to cook, clean, keep house.
Oh, you'll find a way to do it.
Yeah. So, and like with people that I talked to in the past, I remember there was a guy that I talked to a couple of years ago, and I had brought up the idea of going back to graduate school, and his response to me was, well, why? Or does that doesn't even really make business sense.
He wasn't supportive.
Right.
Yeah.
He wasn't supportive. So, I mean, it took me probably like a year after he made that comment to be like, okay, what is it that I want to do? And what makes sense to me and not somebody that I'm dating, you know, off and on, whatever his opinion is that I should do for my life.
Right.
So I definitely have a very supportive husband.
That's
good. I mean, all you have to do is make time for what works for you.
And do more things that make you happy.
Yeah.
Well, see, this has been, I don't know, the last 3 weeks I was really scared, honestly, because I've never not worked.
Right.
And being able to like not work and actually focus on school, I almost feel like I'm out of my element because I have like money to the side. However, like dependent solely upon a man, I'm not used to this. I didn't see this growing up. Like my parents divorced when I was 12. And one of the things that I remember my mother saying, even my grandmother, is just like, you have your own, no matter what. So you have it off to the side, so you don't have to depend on any man for anything. So being able to say like, okay, have a plan with my husband to say, all right, this is what we're going to end up doing, it's been a struggle. And I do question probably every day, did I make the right decision? Just because I'm uncomfortable, but I know it's working for me.
Because this is new.
It's new, and when you uncomfortable, that brings change and elevation. So you're gonna have to be uncomfortable in order for you to grow. You're gonna have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
That's just the way it is. I mean, even like when I went back to work and the kids started virtual school, whatever, I was like, yo, like I was so stressed because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to work from home one day a week, whatever. And I was like, yo, this shit's stressing me out because I'm so focused on trying to help them. I ain't getting my work done.
yeah.
So I was like, damn, did I make the right decision? I'm like, yo, I'm over here stretching myself thin because my husband, he had to go to school for 5 weeks before he went to training.
Yeah.
So he's in school from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. So that means I'm basically doing everything. Like, you get what I'm saying? And then it's like a continuation. So I'm like, yo, like, I'm drained. I'm exhausted. Like, you know what I'm saying? Frustrated.
Yeah.
So I understand. I get it. It's definitely like an uncomfortable time. And I think it's an uncomfortable time for everyone right now because of everything that's going on. Because nothing is normal. Right. Nothing is normal. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But the good thing about what's going on now is that we can find some type of like gratitude and peace and find the things that we like to do. Like, it took this time for you to be like, you know what, I'm about to quit and focus on school.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it took me to be like, you know what, I'm going to take a mental health leave from work. I can't do this. Like, yes, I am independent. I'm a strong, independent black woman.
Yeah.
But during those 6 weeks, I didn't want to be strong. I didn't want to be strong. Like, I wanted to be Britney. I wanted to come home, sing in my shower, do TikToks, started a YouTube channel. That's what I wanted to do. So I did it. Like, you get what I'm saying? And to be honest, I feel like I'm happier.
Yeah.
I feel like I was not myself. Like, I feel like, yo, anything somebody said to me, I was irritated as hell, wanted to spaz. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, like, oh, okay, like,
this is what I like.
Right, like, you know, shit don't bother me like how it did before. Like, it don't bother me, it don't upset me. I'm like, you know what? Everything has its divine timing. I'm not even gonna be upset if something don't work out. It is what it is. Like, before my husband left, he was trying to get me a car. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's just not meant. Let me go ahead and keep driving my car because I ain't got no note right now. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So everything's in the divine timing. Like, you know what I'm saying? In order to grow, you're gonna have to get uncomfortable. And another thing, like, during this pandemic too, I was able to spend more time with family. Like, my best friend, I seen her for a whole month straight. Well, a whole 2 months straight almost. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, we was able to spend time together. Our kids bonded. Like, clothes on the house, moved in my house, was able to furnish my house. So it was like, it was some pros and cons, but it wasn't all bad. Like, you know, I had some loss in the family and stuff like that. Like, that was tough and sad, especially during this time. And it's like, this is like the second time within 2 years I had like tragedy right before my birthday. So like, that's hard to like deal with, you know what I'm saying? Especially during this time. But I just try to look at the positive things and try to like be grateful and show gratitude to the things that I love and then like my family and friends and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been tough, but we gonna get through it.
Yeah.
And I think us too, like as black women, we gotta start asking, like when we need help, we need to start asking for support. I think that's one of my things that I have an issue with. I don't be liking to ask for help.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to ask for help, but I feel like we should probably, you get what I'm saying?
Like, you don't want to feel like you're being weak.
That, and I don't want to feel like a burden to anyone.
Right,
like
a burden. That's the thing with me, because like I don't like asking people. Like, I could be going through something like the worst, like, and I was like, man, maybe I should talk to someone about it. But like I was telling you earlier when you came in with the lady I was talking to, it's like she, like, every time she comes now, I feel like God purposely sent her to talk to me because she don't know anything about me, because I haven't been doing, you know, servicing her for a while. So I've only known her 6 weeks, but in the last 6 weeks, I feel like she know more about like what's going on in my life and like talking to me through those things. And it's been like therapeutic just having her over. So it just don't need, like I was saying, we literally talked 2 hours after her appointment time.
Yeah.
So it was just like, it just felt good to know that, okay, I might not have the people I, you know, wish I could like, you know, be close to and talk to about the stuff I'm going through,
Yeah.
but I have somebody. And I feel like God always sends someone toward, to you when you going through those tough times. So
Yeah.
I literally, like, I spent, like, I think I cried for, like, an hour the whole time she was here.
Yeah.
Like, within those 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I feel good after talking to her because, like she said, like Brittany was saying, we don't want to ask for help. We don't want to ask for support. And I've always, like, was the one who said, if you need something, ask somebody, talk to someone about it. And I've talked about it on here before. But sometimes you just don't want to be a burden to somebody.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, like, the vibe is just not there. So you just, like, let me just
Keep it to
myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Nah, that's another thing too. Like,
That's not healthy.
It's
No,
not.
it's not.
It's not healthy.
It's
It's not,
not.
healthy. But I feel like sometimes you do have to, like, be a little guarded and don't give too much and too many people access.
Right, especially
Like,
when
access to
people's
you.
like
Yeah.
in your close circle, you don't want to, like, because they might use that against you.
Right.
You know, like,
Right.
and then some people, like, they expect something back, like, oh, or they'll use it later on. Oh, you was gonna remember when you was doing this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
So it's just
That's one thing that I feel like I feel like I got supportive people. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't for one. I mean, I know I'm open. I'm an open book. Like, but my best friend, like, she's like the one that I really confide in like that. Like, you feel what I'm saying? If me and her have a fallout, no one would never know about it because we discuss it amongst each other. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I try not to give too many people access of me because, like, yo, real talk, some people are draining. Like, some people are draining and they'll just dump all your issues on you. So I'll just be like, I just try and protect my peace at all costs because I ain't got time.
But like sometimes you don't need someone to be negative around you. You need somebody that's going to be uplifting or someone that's going to give you the perspective of, okay, I hear you, but did you think about this?
right.
And also that support. And I feel like as women, we're sometimes in competition with each other.
Oh, yeah,
So I feel like there's more so a relationship right there. It's just like, okay, well, I'm really not going to talk to her, but it's no reason why. Why not? Why not?
You know, that's crazy. And you know what? Like, in the workplace and stuff like that, like, people like, oh, I thought you was mean. I thought you had an attitude. Like, people be like prejudging the hell out of me.
Yes, Brittany, they absolutely do.
Like, that shit wild, right? That shit wild.
Because I would say when I first met you a couple years ago, you come off as a very direct person. So when somebody asks me about you, I'd be like, oh, that's just Britt. Like, she's from New York. Like, she's from Queens. Like, she's, and so to me, it's just like, because I have family there and, like, I've lived in New York, like, I know how direct you are.
Your demeanor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know there's nothing wrong with it all. Like, you don't mean any harm or animosity.
No harm.
Whatsoever.
No harm.
But I just think that they take, like, your tone and then, like, you're very animated with it as well. And they just, I don't know, maybe they just get a little scared of you.
Intimidated.
Absolutely
that's what I get.
intimidated.
Yeah, people say they're intimidated. Like,
which I don't understand it, but that's them not being comfortable
with themselves.
Yeah,
exactly. And I'm like, yo, I'm sorry, but I'm not toning nothing down about me because my intentions is pure. And I don't, like, you know what I'm saying?
And you
like,
shouldn't have to.
Like, that shit whack.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's lighten the mood a little bit. So I got a few icebreaker questions. All right. So what is your most used emoji?
My most used? Oh God, I would say this is probably gonna be like mushy, just like the heart, like a red heart. I always send that out a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
With
the heart?
I use the heart with the little with the three little like
kisses,
like with the sparkling.
I know what you're talking
the
about.
Little stars, like,
Yeah.
'cause I don't know. I don't know. It's just like glowy, like heart glowy love.
Yeah.
Or like the kissy face, or
that, or the heart that like radiates like the other hearts. I don't know.
That.
Yeah.
And what else I use? I'm using like the 100 emoji, the 100 emoji.
100. I can see that.
That's one of my favorites. If I see a meme, somebody post, I'm like 100. Yeah. What about you? Hearts too?
The hearts and the
heart.
kissy emojis. Those are my favorite.
Let's see. I have a couple of funny ones too. Let's see.
I have one. What makes someone asked me that the other day, so I said, okay, I never thought about it. She said, what makes you angry? She randomly.
What makes me angry? Like in general?
In general.
Well, currently I try to, and it's something I'm working on with my husband. Like when someone asks me a question and I thought I've answered it, but then they ask me the same question again, and I hate repeating myself. So that makes me angry, and I try to like keep my anger to a minimum, and I try to keep my tone right, because it could be something as simple as he just didn't hear me. Or, you know, I was in the bedroom and he was in the living room and he didn't hear what I said. So then when he asked me again, I'm like, so you want me to repeat myself? So then I get angry about that.
I get that. Like, it doesn't make me angry, but it annoys me.
It's irritating.
It's very annoying. Like when you literally just
I just
told the
said
person,
something. Why are you
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that annoys me.
What makes me angry is when I'm like undermined. Like I don't like that. Like don't talk to me. Don't talk to me like I'm like illiterate. Like I'm like, you know what I'm saying. I don't like that. I don't like that. Like I don't like that. And I like, you know, in the workplace and stuff, like working in corporate America, like people be trying it.
Absolutely.
I don't like that. That's one thing that makes me angry, because it's like, bruh, we got the same degree. Okay? I don't care where you got yours from. Okay? We got the same degree. Like, don't try to play me.
So let me ask you this, because you brought up the workplace. How do you feel about, let's say, going into like a meeting or maybe just a conversation with a coworker? Like, how do you feel about like your ideas? Like, do you feel like they're received well? Do you feel like, you know,
No.
there's any kind of like competition there? Or
I feel like my ideas and stuff like that are real. They make sense, and I feel like it's necessary. But I feel like certain people, ideas and their voice is heard more, is respected more because of who they are.
I will say one thing that I really didn't like when I was in corporate America. I noticed for me, and some people may call this being fake or phony or whatever, but my tone would change. So I noticed that when I was able to change my voice talking to different people, it was received better. So, and there was some times where I'm just like, I was exhausted from work because I felt like I was playing somebody else.
Playing two different roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was being like, I don't know, fake, phony. But still, it's just like when I changed my tone, when I, you know, said it was going to be something I was going to say anyway, but I said it with like a softer voice or, you know, a different kind of way, it was received better. And I was just like, and I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like this, but I feel like, why is it in corporate America? Why do women have to do it? Why do black women have to do that?
Why do you have to feel like you have to change your tone to fit into that office?
Yeah,
but to fit into that conversation.
Yeah, I don't feel like you. I don't feel like you the only one to do. I feel like a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people do that.
I have a lot of my clients go through the same thing, and I think you and I talked about that before, where they feel like they have to change who they are. They can't be themselves.
They can't be themselves at work.
Other people, so they go home. They feel like
exhausted.
and liberated. Like man, like I just had to like fake the whole entire day.
But people say they're like, oh, you just gotta fake it till you make it. It's not about what you know, it's who you know. You gotta go and mingle. And
but sometimes that's exhausting. Why can't you just be yourself? I love my job. Like I love my clients. I'm not stressful. I'm sorry for y'all. Like I don't think I'll be able to like deal with like just
but that's the thing. Like I don't do that. Like, and I think that's probably why
they feel like that.
That's probably why people feel intimidated. They feel like, oh, I don't know, she got an attitude. It's probably why, like, sometimes, like, upper management they probably feel uncomfortable coming up to me, having a conversation with me or talking to me. Like, I'm very knowledgeable. I've been in my job for so long, so I know a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I retain a lot of information, but, like, real talk, I don't do that. Like, and I'm not going to do that because that's not who I am, and I'm not about to go to work and be stressed out. Like, no, like I have a family to take care of. This is my job. I like my job. I enjoy my job, but my job is not my life. So I'm not going to sit here and play a different person. Like, I'm not. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
and I think that's another reason kind of like why I am going back to school, because I want to put myself in a position where I could be a director, a SVP, a president or something, because I want to turn around and help my neighbor. Like,
Right.
there's no reason why someone should feel like when they come to work that they have to feel fake or phony or not listened to unless they change their voice. Because the information is there. You have your degree just like somebody else has their degree.
Right.
So you retain that information. I mean, to me, I feel like there should not be any kind of like line skewed if by anybody, no matter what your race is at all.
Right.
So I just feel like being in a position of power, that is where I'll be able to help out the most.
And that's good. And we need more women in leadership.
Yeah.
Period. Black women in leadership. Period.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's great.
Yeah.
I feel like that's great. Yeah, I mean, I just like I'm telling you, when I took that break, I was like, you know what, Britt, like, you the bomb. Like, you the bomb. You know your ish. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can't nobody take, that's one thing, nobody can't take your knowledge and what you know. They can't take that from you.
No.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't do it, but like I said, like, to each his own. Like, I know a lot of people that do that, and you're not the first person that said that to me. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, people do that because they feel like they have to be received well. And I think I'm at a point where it's just like, all right.
It is what it is.
What it is. Like, you feel what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm not over explaining myself. I'm not repeating myself. Like, that's how you, and you know, I used to be like a people pleaser. Like, oh, let me go ahead and rephrase that. Oh, I didn't mean no harm. Like, I meant this. Like, nah, if that's how they gonna take it, they gonna take it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how they say communication is key? Communication is key, but it's also understanding. And if you don't understand what I'm saying to you, I mean, you can tell me that you don't understand. I can try to, like, you know, like, explain it better, but you're going to take it how you want to take it. It don't matter how I say it. If I say it in a soft tone or if I say it in an aggressive tone, you're going to take it the way you take it because you already, in your mind, you already got preconceived notions of me and how I am and my attitude. Yeah. And that's not my problem.
Right. It's not
my problem. It's not my problem. I did have one more funny icebreaker question. I know we're all married. Disclaimer, we are all married women. Okay. I know, like, I haven't dated. I've been with my husband since I was teenager. But what would be one article of clothing that someone could wear on a date that would basically make you walk out of the date?
Like, leave them at the table.
Yes, leave them out the table and be like, I'm gonna go to the restroom. Like,
article of clothing.
I don't know, like maybe a t-shirt.
Oh,
like, I don't know.
I know.
What?
A do-rag. If you come into any establishment with a do-rag on your head, that's the end of the date. Yes,
that's
a do-rag.
Y'all know that commercial where it's a commercial where this man just come with like wrinkled shirts on his head.
Neck stretched out.
I don't know. I know it said article of clothing. Can you put this on? I know it said article of clothing, but I was thinking, like, you know how these new age young dudes, they be wearing them like the chokers and like damn like pocketbooks and shit, fanny packs.
Yes. A merce?
Yes. Yes. Like, I was thinking, like, if I see one of those, like a dude with like a choker or some black painted nails or something with some pearls. Gotta go. You ain't about to be looking better than me on the date. I'm just saying.
Not pearls.
I'm just saying, like, I think that's that new age stuff, but I ain't with all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or like those skinny jeans that be like super tight, but you still try to sag them. I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's ratchet.
Yeah, that is ratchet. I actually know a couple people that I'm around that do that, and I'm just like,
oh Lord, I ain't talking about nobody.
Please, just like pull your pants. Oh, because that's not cute. It's just not cute at all. So, but yeah. Any more?
Nah, that's it. That's all I got. I just wanted to lighten the mood a little bit because we started off heavy.
It started off real heavy in here. I was in here crying, y'all.
It's okay. Crying is good.
It is good.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. Give me a second. Okay, so I have some questions that I wrote down. I feel like maybe we could discuss. I'll take all this off. Do you need a break real quick? No? Okay. So I know you are you talked about your husband.
Yes.
A little bit. And you in a interracial relationship.
Yes.
So
my husband's white.
But what is he
white.
is he Irish white or like, you know?
Girl, he didn't do the DNA or what is it?
Oh,
1, 2, 3 DNA,
okay.
whatever that is. No, he's just. If I had to guess, he's probably Irish or something like that. He's just a redheaded white guy.
Okay, so my question is like, what are some of the questions that you hate people asking you guys in your relationship because of your interracial?
Something that I hate. So he is not the first white guy that I've ever dated before. I've dated quite a few people in different races, but one that has come up, not necessarily with him, but just like dating outside of my race, is asking about his penis color.
What?
Yes.
Accent about it?
Asking about his penis color. Yeah.
That's inappropriate.
It would be. It's very inappropriate. It's just like, you know, what
Who's
color
asking
is it?
you this?
It would be just people in my I mean, y'all, I cannot make this up. People have asked about his penis color. Yes.
That's crazy.
It is. It's just like, well, is it pink or is it, different color? Yes.
I'm weak.
And so, how I like to say it is that whatever color is on his body is the same color as his private area people. So, so that has come out.
No, I cannot.
Yes, but I will say that nobody's ever asked that with me and my husband. I've known him for 2 years now. We've been married for 8 months. So, the other thing I think nobody's really kind of asked the question, but has brought it up is just like there's an automatic, I guess, idea of, oh, you guys are gonna have cute babies because they'll be mixed. And one thing that gets on my nerves is, why is it that just having regular brown babies are not cute? Or just having, whatever color babies. But to me, it's always just like, oh, well, your kids are going to be mixed. So, but to me, that means nothing. Right. Because it doesn't matter what color my kids are going to be. They can come out just super white, but they're still black because their mom is black. So with everything that's going on with like the government and all this other stuff, I am terrified to have children in this day and age. Like having a black son right now, I'm not comfortable with it. And I've actually talked to my husband about it, and we've discussed like there's certain things that he can understand, like he'll show empathy about, but he would never have gone through. So because I do have brothers, I told him like, I want my brothers to be able to talk to my black son about things that they could potentially go through, because I'm a black female. I'm not a black male. So being able to discuss that, I feel like I'm definitely blessed to have my husband that is very understanding with that.
Yeah, because I know you guys went to DC. Y'all went to the march. What is it? The anniversary.
Yes, the MLK anniversary. I want to say it was the 57th anniversary.
So how was that for for the both of y'all going together as a couple?
Yeah. So it was very interesting. I will say that I was kind of like already involved. My brother called me up and asked me if I wanted to go. Like we would do T-shirts. And I remember saying something to my husband about it, and he was okay. And then I asked him, like, do you have any kind of like hesitation towards it? And he was just like, I'm a little bit nervous because of like what's happening with the marches. And I said, well, honey, think about it like this. I said, my ancestors, my mom went through the whole desegregation thing, and she was in South Carolina. I was like, we're still marching for the same shit.
Right.
So I was like, I am prepared to continue to march. I said, if he didn't want to, if he's not comfortable, that's okay. But I'm going to go.
Right.
And with that, he was just like, I'm not going to let my wife go out there and march. Like, this is a cause. I need to be there.
Right.
So when we were reaching the reflection pool and just like listening to the speakers, I could tell that he was a little bit nervous because it was a lot of people. But I will say after a little while, I could tell that he was like starting to calm down because it wasn't a lot of craziness. It was like everybody was there protesting the same thing. And he learned a lot. He really had a really good time.
Yeah, because I was thinking about, like, since you brought up like having a a son, like, because your son will technically be black.
He's black.
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Have you seen that movie American Son with Kerry Washington?
Wait, is that the one where the husband was like a police officer or a police officer pulled up? Yes.
That was crazy.
And the things that, even though, first of all, the movie, I get the movie, but I just didn't like the fact that the movie was just in one location all the time.
That was the
like
point,
a basement.
though. Yeah, I was mad. It was.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that, but I understood, like, you know, the concept of the movie, and basically, like, it just showed a lot, because basically it was showing, like, the segregation, because the location they was at, they still had the water fountains where it was like black and white water fountains. Then, like, when a guy came in, like, he automatically assumed that it was his, like, lieutenant, because he was a white guy.
Yeah,
right.
And was like, oh yeah, this lady is wild, and like, basically she's a black woman, but she was black and educated because she was a therapist. So it was just like, it was so much stuff going on. And then, like, basically the lieutenant was a black guy, and she basically was like mad, basically calling him, I forgot what she called him. But long story short, like, the whole movie in itself, I was like, it's sad, because it's like, dang, like, you know, like, he really would not understand.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's not a black man, so he wouldn't understand. He using his power. Yeah, you're an officer and things like that, but it's just like, you wouldn't walk a day. You wouldn't know, because you haven't walked a day in a black man's shoes. You don't know what they endure and go through. Like, he basically put his hands on the lieutenant and got arrested. If that was a black man, he would have been shot dead. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's just like, yo, I'm like, yo, this movie is like, it's deep.
It was good. I liked it. I was mad because I was like, hold on, is this it? Like, that's it?
Yeah, it was just sad. It was just really sad. And then, like, how, like, the son got, like, basically, like, oh, he was riding with some kids that was buying some weed, and then the gun went off, and of course their son died. Like, it was a really, really sad movie, but it just put a lot of things in perspective on both sides, like, looking at it both ways. You get what I'm saying? Because the dad, even though he was white, I guess he came from a good background, a good family. He had privilege. He's like, well, I wanted my son to go to this school and do this and do that. But she was like, yo, that's not what he want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he doesn't look like you. He has cornrows and wears glasses with light blue eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? She said that she basically, like, will go to sleep and check on him every night. Like, she was basically, like you said, you're scared to, like, have it. Like, she was terrified. Scared. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, so I don't know. It's just, I was just like, damn, it was sad. That movie, it was really sad. And then, like, you know, I was watching Moesha and stuff like that, because, you know, that was on Netflix. And it's crazy. It's like this, like you said, the same stuff that we marching for today, we was marching for back then. Like, even like the TV show showed it. Like, she basically liked this white guy growing up, but like, I guess they got split up, and then they went out on a date, and then, like, people were being rude to her because, like, it's not something that, like, people are used to seeing.
Yeah,
right.
You get what I'm saying? So
I mean, and that's been going on for like years,
forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
And then some people hide their relationship. Now it's more, you know, open. There's a lot more interracial relationship out now where everybody could just, like, be free, but it's still, people are still, like, looking at them, like, sideways, like, why are they together? Like, and then my thing is, why can't it just be love?
Well, see, I also think, so nobody has ever said anything specifically when I was out with anybody that I've dated in the past that was not black. I do remember this one incident. I was dating this Italian guy. We went to some restaurant that was like Concord, which is like right outside of Charlotte. And my back was to whoever he was looking at. But I remember him getting pissed to the point where he was just like, I'm going to go over there and say something to them, because clearly, like, something is wrong with them. Like, why do they keep staring at us? And I was explaining to him, I'm like, so what? Who cares? Nobody said anything. We're here. This is like, I think this was like our second date. So who cares what anybody is saying? So kind of fast forwarding to when I met my husband, I'm actually the first person that he's dated outside of his, well, we married now, but first person that he's ever been with outside of his race. And I asked him, I said, well, what made you kind of like, what drawed you to me?
Right.
And he was just like, well, Kristen, you know, you're beautiful. I saw your pictures, like you were, you know, having a lot of fun. And I was just like, well, okay, I see that you have like different friends of different backgrounds or whatever. I said, how do you feel about dating somebody outside of your race? And the good thing is, like, after meeting his family, I see how his heart is so open. But he's also very naive. to other people. And I had to tell him, I was just like, there could be times where somebody may say something. Granted, they haven't, thank God, but that somebody may say something and you're going to have to figure out what it is that you're going to say. You need to be prepared in your mind for what you're going to say. So my husband does have a little temper, and he doesn't want anybody to say anything or do anything to his family or at all. So kind of talking to him about that. And then I asked him, I was just like, how do you feel about privilege? So we talked about privilege. He is very aware of what privilege is. And I'm like, do you see where it could be certain opportunities that are open for you, but not for Black people
or yourself,
Black boys, or me?
Yeah.
And so talking with that, it kind of opened up his eyes to where, okay, I didn't think I was biased, but then not saying something to another person, like, that's just as bad,
Right.
you know? Like, being able to speak up to be like, that's not okay.
Right.
So, like, we've had very kind of like open conversations about like children and how we feel like we want to raise them. And you
That's
know.
good. So that's basically, that was going to be my next question. So I like the fact that you was like, all right, so what drew you to me? Like, why me? Like, and you can have them open conversations, like, you know, like, so this is how we're going to raise our children. Like, how do you feel about dating a Black woman? So, like, these are conversations that you had prior, like during y'all dating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like, his family, for example, like, when he brought you around his family, they just basically welcomed you with open arms. You didn't feel any type of way or anything like that.
I didn't feel any type of way at all, especially because, like, one of Chris's cousin at that moment, like, she was married to, like, a Black guy. So this isn't, like, the first time that they've had people from different races come in and, like, mix in their family. So, I mean, I felt like everybody was genuine. The kicker is, I felt like my mother.
That was going to be my next question.
I felt like my mother.
She wasn't with it.
I don't think so. This is the thing. My mother would sit there and say that, you know, she's a Christian and that she just loves everybody and God makes everybody. Okay. However, when whenever I talk to her about other races, it would be, you know, there's no problem. Like, I raised you to, like, love everyone. Okay, but when you bring that person into your mother's house, talking about I'm dating them, it's a different story. So, and I remember there was one particular time, if I ever talk to my mother about it, she's gonna probably be like, I don't remember that. But I remember when I was 19 years old, I was dating an Italian guy, the same guy that I ended up going to the restaurant with. She wrote me, I want to say it was like a 4 or 5 page letter.
Oh my God.
About slavery and Black women for them. Yes. How we were a part of this whole thing for slavery and how we were used, our bodies were used, and you know, how they procreated and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I remember reading that and I was just like, who is this person? Because you didn't teach me to be like this.
Right.
So I held on to that, kept it in the back of my mind, moved on to, you know, 2 years ago. And it's just like, hey, I have a boyfriend. Like, she's like, oh, I want to meet him. Okay, so I'm just going to push him right out. I'm not going to give you any inkling that he is not Black.
Yeah.
And I mean, y'all, she could have gotten an Academy Award. She did a wonderful performance, but I feel like she was kind of taken back by it a little bit. And I don't really feel like she's probably came around since maybe a couple months ago. Like, so I still kind of felt like she was kind of standoffish at our engagement party and at our wedding. But it's kind of hard for you to be mean and malice to people that are so loving
and nice.
Yes, because like Chris's mom, his aunt, everybody in his family are so nice that if you're mean to them, you're a jerk. Like, you just look
crazy.
Yeah, you look real crazy. So I think now that she's definitely have come around, like the last couple of months, where she's just like, oh, my son-in-law, and I just love you, and you know, I'll make whatever it is that you guys want to eat, kind of thing. So I will say it really wasn't much of his family. It was my mother.
I mean,
I understand why, because like you say, they went through things back then where we still don't understand.
Yeah.
We honestly, we don't, because we wasn't there and we don't know what they went through, because I was around people who like still from this day like you shouldn't date outside of your race.
Yeah.
Because that's just, but to her, she probably didn't think you was gonna date outside your race. So that's different for her. Like growing up, because you, like you said, it wasn't your first,
Yeah.
interracial relationship.
Yeah.
So for her, it's like, man, like I went through whatever it was she seen back then, and then to like, oh, my daughter is actually in this relationship. Like this was real. So it probably wasn't real to her until like now you say
I just surprised her.
right.
Surprise. Right.
And then
I didn't
now
want to give her an opportunity to think about anything.
right. So now she's like coming around because I mean that's all she could do.
Yeah.
Was to come around.
Yeah. I can understand it, both perspectives, because like I feel like, first of all, growing up where I grew up at, I didn't see a lot of interracial dating. I mean, I grew up systematically in racism. I grew up in the projects. And, I come from a black mother and a black father. Their relationship wasn't the best. But, it didn't really, like, draw me away from, like, oh, okay, since my father wasn't the best man to my mom, I'm not going to date. I'm going to date outside my race. That didn't really, like, resonate with me. I was just like, okay, like, a man is a man. This is how he act. That's his character. I just know what I want when I grow up, not to deal with a man like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I moved to North Carolina, it was like a culture shock for me because I seen a lot of that. Like in high school, like 10th grade year, I seen a lot of black guys dating white women and vice versa. And I was kind of confused. I was like, wait, hold up. Where am I? Because I just wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So I want to encourage in my household with my kids, black love. Like, I feel like black love is very essential. I'm not going to encourage them like, oh, no, you have to date a black woman. Like, you have to do this. Like, I don't want you dating outside your... I'm not going to be like that because I'm a loving person. Like, I love people who love me. And I want to, teach my kids that, too. Like, love is love. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to cut you up. Like, the same way your mom is like, never say anything on how she felt. It's kind of like how Brittany's feeling like now, like, black love. Like, I want you to be with a black man. Not necessarily telling you I want you to be with a black man, but like I want you to have, to see a black woman and think of them as like your,
beautiful.
Right, beautiful.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I was just talking to my father about that, and I was just I was asking him his opinion on it. So I mean, he in jail. He ain't got nothing else to talk about. Like, I'm like, yeah, so what you think? I'm like, yeah, what you think about? What you think about this? What you think about it or whatever? But basically, like, I'm gonna encourage black love in my household because I mean, I just feel like me personally, if my children or when they got older, they was to date outside their race or white women, something, I don't know if they will be able to like properly love them or care for them the way that their mother can. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just my mind and my ideology. I don't know how true it is because they're still children. They still got a lot to grow.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah.
But, I feel like black love is definitely essential. Like I said, even though my household was dysfunctional.
Yeah.
I had a lot of traumatic events.
Yeah.
I'm still healing from some childhood trauma. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But the one thing it did teach me is that, like I said, like, my parents weren't perfect. They were young. They didn't know any better. I was just like, you know what? My mom dealt with a person like this. I'm going to make sure I don't deal with a person like this.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. But I feel like a man going to be a man because I know a situation where, you know what I'm saying? Like, someone dating outside their race and have a baby with them and they're a white man and they're trash.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah,
like,
you're
get
right.
What I'm saying? Like, so I feel like love is love. I want my children to be loved properly. I want people to understand them, to be able to like tend to their needs and care for them. Like, you get what I'm saying? So,
and I do understand because there could be certain things where I'll have a different point of view versus like Chris having a point of view. However, like we can come together and have a conversation and say, this is how I feel. And this is why I feel that way.
Right.
And he can say that too. And I think it's also important to realize like being in a community is also going to help build you up as well, because he already knows his son. If we have a son, your son's black. So there are certain things that you may not necessarily understand that my brothers understand. You know what I mean? And I trust my brothers to instill what will be right for our kid. So I totally understand that. And one of the things that I do see like on social media or whatever, and they talk about black love, and I will have to be honest, when I hear about the whole black love thing, it's just like, I get a little sting because I'm just like, well, I can say black love, but everybody know my husband is white. So it's just
girl, say black love.
Black love.
I mean, you're black.
I am definitely black, but my husband is not black. So is it appropriate? Would it be weird to be like, oh, hashtag black love? Because I'm black. So it's just
I
like,
don't see nothing wrong with that.
yeah. But it's not like, I feel like black love is good to say, but then it's like nobody's doing hashtag white love. So you know what I mean? So I feel like, is it appropriate?
I'm just trying to think. I'm like, dang, is this something that you can say for both? I don't know.
No, but I'm just saying, it could be black love.
Yeah, it could
I
be.
mean,
I think I told you to just do it. Why not? Like, you're black love.
I don't think
There's nothing wrong with that.
But
post your picture.
Our picture's already up there. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Go under there and put black love.
Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
You black.
I am black. Absolutely.
Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you and your husband disagree? Like, do y'all like have like little like tiffs and like arguments over like little stuff? Like, basically like saying like, since you grew up in a black household, he grew up in a white black household. Like, you know how certain thing, like for example, like you know how they say, like, I don't know how true this is. Like, listen, this is Love Life After. We do not discriminate. We are not racist. We love everyone. You know, just putting a disclaimer out there. But you know how they say, like, some white people don't season their food, season their chicken. Do y'all have tips about that?
A story for this.
I'm just curious.
So this was probably our second. No, was it our second date? I can't remember. So this conversation actually came up. It was right before I actually met his family, and I asked him. I said, "Okay, we're gonna eat at your mother's house." I was just like, does she use like Miss Dash or does she use like Larry season? Like what season? So he was just like, my mom seasons her food. I was like, okay, so seasoning is not just salt, pepper. So she seasoned her food. So she is from the country. She's from Clayton. So it's country out there. But yes, she seasons her food very well.
Okay.
So yes, she knows how to season her food. She knows how to season her food.
Okay, good.
But I will say there's probably certain things we talked about, I guess, how we would punish our kids, kind of like bringing that up. So he grew up in a pretty much like, okay, go stand in a corner, or not a whole lot of discipline.
Right.
Yeah. And for some reason, it just worked for him. Like when he became a teenager, he actually acted like he had some sense. Like he started doing what he was supposed to do, not throwing any tantrums or whatever. And so I personally, I don't want to have to get to the point where I just got to be beating your kid. Like I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like I want to be able to say something and in my tone,
right, I'm
not playing. So we talked about that. So as far as like the whole punishment thing, I don't want to have to put my hands on my kids. But I don't have kids right now. So check back, in a couple of years and we'll see how that goes.
Nah, I feel like, I grew up, I got my butt whooped, okay?
Oh yeah.
Like now, like I would not, like I don't feel like physical, like I don't feel like that's necessary now. Like,
no.
First of all, I feel like my kids aren't bad kids. I mean, do they not listen sometimes? And do they like, I gotta go over and like pick this up, sweep the floor, like of course, like you know what I'm saying, they kids. But yeah, I don't think that's necessary. And I think it's a new day and age and stuff too. So like it's other methods.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Disciplining.
To disciplining and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's good. So do you guys, like, since y'all newlyweds, like, did you guys go on your honeymoon yet or no?
Yeah, so we got married
right after.
It was right after.
Yeah.
So yeah, you did it in Jamaica. So how was that? Was that nice?
It was wonderful. So the whole reason why we ended up doing destination wedding is because like my grandfather passed in 2017. He was going to be the only reason why I was going to have it anywhere close to home.
Right.
So since he passed, I wanted to do something that was going to be in the tropics, and then I could also do my honeymoon, and I wanted them to plan it because I refused to be stressed out about a wedding.
Yeah, no.
So, and it was all inclusive. I mean, they paid for the flowers, they did the cake. The only thing additional we had to pay for was the actual location.
That ring is nice too.
Thank you.
That's the same ring?
No, Chris got me another one.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, because that don't look like the same ring.
No,
That's
got a
nice.
little upgrade.
Right.
Damn, 8 months.
Right.
I've been married for 8 months, and you got to upgrade already.
Absolutely. Why not?
I cannot.
Why not?
That's pretty though. I really like that.
Thank you.
That's really dope. I was like, dang, that ring don't look the same.
Thank you.
You gotta bring him here. So
I gotta bring him so he can
He can tell us why he upgraded your ring.
How I got
Sorry,
upgraded
I didn't mean to cut you off.
So that's okay. So we ended up having, it was just like 12 people, so 12 family members, including us. And I mean, it even covered the cocktail hour.
That's what's
So
up.
yeah, it was.
Dang, so you got married right before COVID hit.
Yes,
That's
a blessing.
crazy.
Yeah, because
That's
there's
wild.
so many people that had to push their wedding back like
Multiple
additional
times.
year.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Mhm.
Did you have any other questions? Because it
No,
look like you got a whole list of questions over
I
there.
wrote some, but I think almost every question that I wrote down, we covered them all.
We covered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did
So
you have
we
any
just-
questions for us, Kristen?
Oh my God. No, I did not at this moment. I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, no problem.
We appreciate you.
Yeah,
Were
no,
you
thanks for
scared
coming.
coming? Like, oh my God.
I was a little nervous. I was like, what are they gonna ask me? But then I was like, okay, so they my people, so they not gonna ask me. You know, like they can ask me whatever, and I.
I mean, and I feel like everything we talked about, we've talked about it before.
Absolutely.
So, which is good. I just, wish that there could be more conversations about, about this, because a lot of people don't talk about it. So I'm glad you was open enough to come on and like share this with.
Absolutely. You're right about that, because I feel like even when I started this whole journey back in my teenage years, like dating outside of my race and, trying to figure out who to talk to about it, or even thinking like, is there something wrong with me? Like, but no, I'm definitely
I just think people love who they love. Like, I mean,
love is love.
I feel like
love is
you
love.
love
Like
who you
that.
love. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And I don't regret it, not 1 minute. This is like the best relationship ever.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's
dang,
good.
so he don't get on your nerves, not even a little bit?
I mean, everybody get on your nerves just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine, but for the majority of the time, like, I enjoy being in his space. Like, spending
That's
time
good.
with him, and like, and he knows like certain things like cleaning up, or, kind of things like what sets me off, and, washing dishes and stuff. So it's more than just being married. It's like we're best friends. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
that's
having
dope.
like that friendship relationship on top of, that physical attraction, it works.
That's what's up.
I have one. Let me ask one question. Like, what is, like, I hope you guys have like a successful relationship, but what does that look like for you?
A successful relationship. I would say, and I feel like it's going to be more so me. Successful would be me getting the job that I want in order to get like the house or whatever that I want, and be able to like take trips and like spend time together. Like, to me, I feel like me and him being successful, like, we're doing that now.
Right.
I just feel like I want to be the kind of wife where I could just like, hey, I want to take you on this trip. Like, you've done so much for me, and you've like been so supportive, that I just want to be like, here you go. Like, let's just go for a weekend.
Yeah.
So I think that would be my definition.
Do y'all
of
have
success.
like the same love language?
So actually, not the same one. We actually did a quiz. I'm trying to think. We were similar,
Okay.
but it wasn't the exact
The
same.
same,
And I
okay.
can't think of it off the top of my head.
Okay. Well,
But we're
that's
definitely
good.
similar.
I was about to say, I had another question. Dang.
She can't think.
You should have had it written down, like Kristen.
I don't like
I was
doing that.
thinking about it. Like, I literally was just writing and thinking earlier when I was talking to her. I said, what do I
Oh, so
wanna
are y'all
have?
gonna start planning? Oh, well, you said you didn't really want to have kids right now.
No,
Or
not right
it's
now.
up in the air.
It is up in the air.
It's coming.
Wait a minute. What?
I kept trying to tell her it's coming. Remember the conversation we
Yeah,
had?
talk about it's coming. Honey, you gotta continue to
It's
take your birth
coming.
control every day. 7 o'clock. Nope. Y'all ain't gonna have me set up.
I feel like I'm still on birth control. I want to get off. I want to give my body a break.
I want to get off my IUD.
Yeah.
I've been saying I want to get off a bit, but
Kristen, she the medicine queen. She's like, girl,
Right.
you congested? I got something for that. Like, damn, be trying to drug me up at work.
No. but some stuff that I did, it helps. Like the hot shower to relieve the congestion out your nose. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, it do.
Yeah.
I do want to get over birth control, but like I ain't trying to have no mistakes.
Exactly. That's why I take my pills 7:00 every day.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
I need I need at least like a year and a half to get my thoughts together.
Do y'all have anything else y'all want to add?
Kristen, you ain't got no questions?
Do you have any questions for us?
No, I was just gonna let them go for next time.
Oh, so you are gonna come next time?
I do come back. I hope y'all let me come back.
You want to bring your husband?
I mean, that's up to Chris. Chris already said he wanted to come on.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll set that up then.
Oh Lord, y'all have.
We gotta do it. Y'all come back. We're gonna have to do like a trivia game or something.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
That'll
man.
be good.
I can't wait.
That was one thing. Like Chris was just like, "Oh, do y'all want to have me?" No, this is about me. This is how I feel in our relationship. They don't gotta ask you no questions.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Like, so since you've been married, I know you've been married for 8 months and stuff like that. Have you had time to like actually spend time with your friends and do things with your friends, your close friends and stuff?
So a little bit. I actually was able to go to the beach with one of my girlfriends back in July, and we just spent like the weekend together. It was kind of refreshing. She was pregnant, so I mean, it was just kind of like a little girls' trip, trying to like get away.
Dang, so y'all couldn't drink.
I mean, I was drinking.
Oh, okay.
You know, she can have like a version daiquiri or whatever. But I mean, I really don't feel like we have to be together in order to have fun. Like I want him to go out and, you know, play golf with his friends or play video games or whatever he wants to do. And I do my own thing too. Yeah. Like I want to be able to miss you. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to be up under each other
all the time.
Yeah, that's good. Good balance.
Absolutely.
Right. Balance.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
So I can't wait for y'all to come back. I'm excited, so we could like talk to both of y'all together.
See how,
we'll definitely have
we need a male's perspective on things, so that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate your time and coming and sit and chat it up with us and being so open and transparent. We appreciate that. All right, guys. Did you want to leave us a quote?
I want to say something. Like, I just want to say, because life is too short, and I've been seeing like a lot of death on my timeline when I do go on there. And I just want to tell people, like, just be open enough to start a conversation with the people in your life, like that, you know, you haven't seen in a while. Like, if you need to make phone call, go ahead and do that, because life is too short, and it's a blessing to wake up every morning knowing that God has given you another chance. So there's a purpose, and therefore quit waking up with attitude, regrets, and in complaining mood. So don't complain, just enjoy life and know that someone else out there is going through the same thing that you are. I just want to leave that with y'all.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Do you have any? Do you have a quote or anything like that you go by, or a certain saying that, like, you know, you be like, all right, Kristen, like, all right, today I'm feeling a little blah, but something that you say to yourself to motivate yourself to get you back uplifted?
Nothing. That I'm just out here trying to live my best life. That's
YOLO.
She living her best life.
YOLO.
That's it.
I just one thing I just think that Drake song, like, you got it, girl, you got it. That's what I just be thinking. I'm like, all right, I got this.
Anything that you could pull some inspiration from works.
Anything. Well, thanks, guys, for listening and tuning in. We appreciate y'all listening. Remember to check us out. We are on Spotify, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Did I say Spotify already?
We on iTunes.
Like, we everywhere. Radio. We everywhere. Y'all tune in, download, subscribe. We also have a YouTube channel, Love Life After Podcast. And yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. And remember to do the hashtag. Take your time, but don't waste your time. Y'all have not been doing the hashtags.
I've seen a couple on
Pull
there, but they just haven't done the Love Life After. So we know that it's Love Life After, but take your time, don't waste your time.
Yeah,
so
guys.
I've seen a couple of those, so I'll read some of them next week.
All right, perfect. And just if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, email us at lovelifeafter18@gmail.com. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at love.lifeafter. And we out. Peace.
I know I'm addicted.